This gang of criminals must be really desperate to resort to kidnapping a woman to gain their ends.
Yes, and you can't blame the government for not wanting to ship critical materials by truck as long as those hijackers are still operating.
Gentlemen, I have a solution to the problem, but I'm afraid you're not going to like it. I intend to protect every one of my government shipments with armed guards, both in the trucks and in the escorting patrol cars.
Why, the cost would be prohibitive.
We couldn't possibly make expenses.
I realize that, but this is a national emergency, and I feel it warrants some personal sacrifice on my part.
Well, that's all very well for you, Crandall. Your company is big enough to stand the loss. But it would put the rest of us out of business.
I knew you wouldn't like it, but I intend to carry it out if the government will give me the orders under those conditions.
I'm sure they will.
Well, then there's nothing the rest of us can do about it. Crandall's just proposed an arrangement which will seriously interfere with our hijacking operations, and he must be removed.
That's a tough order. Crandall always has a bodyguard.
The guard never goes with him into offices where business is being discussed. I'll arrange to have him call the association office. You can do the rest.
Isn't that place rather public for any shooting?
Shooting won't be necessary. Get those glass bulbs out of the box in the file behind you. Those are filled with a deadly poison, so be careful that you don't drop them until you're ready.
Let's go. Calling Trucking Association. Calling Trucking Association.
Come in, Hal.
All checkpoints okay?
Yes, just a minute, Hal. I'll read you the report.
Good morning, Miss Roberts.
Well, good morning, Mr. Crandall.
Am I early?
Why, I don't know. Were you expecting the others?
Of course. My office received a message from Mr. Duncan that we were having a special meeting.
Did you hear that, Hal?
Yes, but I didn't call any meeting.
Well, that's funny. It must have been...
Get away from that radio.
What is this?
Quiet, you. Put him in that chair and then tie them both up. All right, now bring that cord over here. Tie it to the basket. I want to be as far away from these things as possible when they break. Remember, they're filled with poison gas. Poison gas?
Yes, but I don't know why they wanted to kill us.
They didn't try to get any information out of you?
No, they didn't. They didn't even explain anything.
I'm afraid you're taking over the government trucking business was responsible for this, Mr. Crandall.
And they'll keep right on trying to get you out of the way.
I realize that. I'll have to be more careful in the future.
Well, I'll see that you get back to your office. And I suggest that you keep a bodyguard with you all the time.
I intend to.
Crandall's going to be even tougher to get at. Now he's sure to be well guarded.
Your best chance is an attack on his home.
They've got watchmen around that place day and night.
I know, but they won't stop you. The Armstrong Company is shipping a truckload of explosives, which you can hijack without any difficulty. I'll furnish you with a remote control unit to install in the truck so that you can send it anywhere without a driver. You'll have to be sure that you're...
Calling Hal Duncan. Calling Hal Duncan.
Come in, Kay.
Armstrong's truck, number 14, was stolen about 9 last night on Highway 25, just south of Ashbridge.
Why wasn't it reported sooner?
Someone must have slipped up and forgot to notify us.
Well, if they took the truck to town, we'll never find it now. But they might have taken it into the back country and abandoned it after they looted it. I'll take a look around.
There, that ought to do it. Now start moving her backwards and forwards.
Okay.
Try it again.
All right, Regan, climb out of there.
Now, he's out cold. We'll let him go with the explosives.
He might come, too.
Well, what's the difference? The controls are locked in. Come on.
I was able to smash part of the control unit so I could keep the truck from hitting Mr. Crandall's house. But I couldn't stop it from hitting the garage.
You did all right. You saved me and my family from being blown to bits.
You were very fortunate. But you may not be so lucky the next time if you insist on trying to handle all the government trucking orders yourself.
I don't intend to be intimidated.
But how about the risk to your family?
I'm afraid they're right, Mr. Crandall. It's obvious that this gang of hijackers will stop at nothing. And I don't think it's fair to ask you to face all the danger alone.
How else are you going to keep these critical shipments moving?
Well, I think it's worthwhile trying my system of giving sealed shipping orders to each of you as late as possible.
And we've tried keeping our schedule secret before. But the information always seems to leak out.
But my method will at least make it easier to find the leak. For instance, if one of your cargoes is hijacked, we'll know that the trouble is in your organization and we can act accordingly. It'll make each of you more or less responsible for policing your own organization. But if you're willing to try it, I think it might solve our problem.
I'll be glad to cooperate.
Well, so will I.
I'll give it a try.
Very well. Since you all feel that way, I'll go along with you.
Good. Here are some orders for immediate shipment. I'll still be out with a patrol car most of the time, but you can always contact me by radio.
As long as Duncan's system of sealed orders is in operation, it'll be very difficult for me to learn when any of the cargoes we want are being shipped by any of the other companies.
Can't you lift stuff from some of your own trucks?
Occasionally, but I wouldn't dare do it too often. And if I'm to keep filling my foreign orders, I must have a steady supply of critical materials from the government stockpile.
Looks like we better get rid of Duncan.
We will. And at the same time, secure a supply of refined uranium, which I need. One of Thompson's drivers is on my payroll. He'll let me know when the uranium is being shipped. You'll have no trouble taking over the truck. But Duncan is sure to be keeping a check on it. So as soon as you get the uranium, you ought to go.
Okay, she's all yours.
Good, but we're not through with you yet. Where's the stuff?
Right on the back of the load.
Give us a hand with it.
There it is.
Put it in the back of the station wagon. All right, Kirk. Get moving.
Okay, Regan.
Now, you start pulling out and pull over onto 29. If nobody stops you, go right on into the 3rd Street warehouse.
Look, I don't want to get into this too deep. I can say I was just hijacked and stay in the clear, but if I start
You'll
going...
do what you're told. We'll trail along behind you just in case you do get into any trouble. Get going.
That guy's liable to make trouble.
So what? We don't need him anymore. If he wants to start anything, we'll finish it.
Thompson's number 6 is 15 minutes overdue at Bentley's checking station.
Right, Kay, we'll look into it. Maybe he just blew a tire. Maybe, but that truck was carrying a lot of dollars worth of refined uranium, so we gotta be sure.
Okay, where to?
Well, if the hijackers try to run it into town, 29 is the only turnoff they could have made.
We're on our way.
Here comes somebody running up the road.
It was Duncan, all right.
Yeah, this is working out fine. Just trail along easy and we see what happens.
There it is.
Okay, we can stop him.
Not yet. This is our chance to find out where they're taking the stolen stuff. Just follow them, not too close.
Suit yourself.
What if he trails him to the warehouse?
Well, that's all right, too. We can take care of him there as well as any place.
Come on.
Take it easy.
What'd you come in here for? Is that uranium still on your truck?
No, I was hijacked.
Hijacked. Well, why didn't you report it to the police?
Because I'm in a jam. I got tangled up with...
Let's get out of here. I'm okay.
Good, I'm going after him. You're running out of gas. Pull into that station.
Hey, look at your tank.
We'll take that truck.
You can't do that.
Keep out of this or you'll get hurt.
Beat it.
Hey, what happened to the men in that car? They took my gas truck and pulled out. Thanks.
He's still after us. We can't outrun him with this load.
Here, I'll fix that. You take the wheel. we got away with the uranium all right.
That's something, but I won't get paid for the uranium until it's in the hands of the foreign government I'm selling it to. And exporting it may be difficult.
Can't you ship it out as you usually do?
Perhaps. But Duncan is sure to be making a special effort to recover that uranium. So I don't want to move it until I learn what his plans are.
Well, maybe you can find out something at the association meeting.
I can't count on that. So I'm going to plant a small radio center in the association office. You stay here with your receiver open and note everything that comes over.
Okay.
The loss of that uranium is very serious. The government needs it badly for the atomic bomb program.
And some foreign country would be very glad to get it for the same purpose.
Of course, but we hope to be able to prevent that.
How?
Well, I'd rather not answer that now, Mr. Willard.
Yeah, you're quite right. I apologize.
No, it's certainly none of our business.
Oh, did you get that schedule of steamer sailings?
Oh, yes, here it is.
We have enough agents to cover all the ships and planes.
Won't it be quite a job to inspect every shipment?
Well, that won't be necessary. Uranium is easily detected with a Geiger counter, so all the agent has to do is to stand by with a counter while the cargo's being loaded.
That's all we need to know. We'll do our own shipping. Come on.
I'm going over to headquarters. I'll check with you on the radio when I start back.
All right, Hal.
Calling Trucking Association. Calling Trucking Association.
Come in, Hal.
Everything okay?
Yes, all the checkpoints are checked out.
Something blew out.
Try another station.
Hal.
Our receiver's okay. Must be something wrong with K's set.
Harold, something happened to Kay. Get going. What's wrong, Kay?
I don't know. The set just cut out.
It sounds like a loose connection. Maybe it's in the circuit or the antenna.
What was it, Hal?
A miniature radio transmitter.
You mean somebody's been overhearing everything that's been said in here?
That's right.
But how in the world did it get in here?
I don't know. Someone could have broken in here last night and planted it. Now, the important thing is that the crooks must have heard that we're going to check all foreign cargoes with Geiger counters.
So what will they do about it?
Well, they'll know that they can't get the uranium out through any regular shipping channel, so they'll have to try some other way. About the only other way they could do it would be to charter a private plane or boat and smuggle it out to some foreign steamer offshore. Let's check all boat and plane charter services. Come on, Sam. You in charge here?
Yes, what can I do for you?
Government agent.
Oh?
We're trying to check up on some smugglers. Do you do much chartering?
Some, mostly fishing parties. We've got a couple out today. I'm sure they're okay. However, you can check them when they come in.
Well, I'm more interested in night trips.
Oh, there's never anything doing around here at nights.
Okay, thanks.
That charter schedule?
Yeah. There's something phony about his no night trip story.
There sure is. We'll pick up your car and you can go out to the airport. I'll come back here and check up on this place tonight.
Okay.
Got the stuff?
Yeah, it's in the station wagon.
Well, you might as well get it aboard.
Get your hands up and turn around.
Wait a minute. I don't want any killings around here. If you want to get rid of him, we can dump him when we get out to sea.
All right. Give me a hand with him.
How much further? We're not out of the harbor yet. The ship's 12 miles offshore. Let's hear what the Coast Guard's doing.
Attention all Coast Guard patrols. An unidentified steamer is reported standing by 12 miles off the breakwater. Be on the lookout for any shore craft trying to contact her.
Yeah, that could be a bad break for us.
Yeah, if they catch up with us, we're out of luck. Spotted us. Grab that rifle and shoot out the light.
Okay now.
Yeah, as long as the fog lasts.
slide before that cutter picks us up. Smog's thinning out. Let's swim for it.
The cutter picked me up, and we looked around for Regan and Katie, but we never found them.
Maybe this explains why. 2 unidentified men were picked up by a fishing boat just outside the harbor last night. They refused to explain what had happened to them and disappeared as soon as they were landed.
Well, that's probably the answer, so we'll be having trouble with them again.
Are there any more important shipments scheduled?
Well, just routine stuff, nothing the hijackers would be interested in. See, I've got an idea. We might be able to get some good out of that radio center they planted on us. If they want information, I can give them some that'll really fix them up. Come on. I'll bring it in. You ask me about shipments and then keep following my lead. Good morning, Kay.
Hello, Hal. Anything important today?
Yes, I have to prepare shipping instructions for another consignment of uranium.
Same usual sealed orders?
No, we're going to try something different this time. We've had the uranium packed in dummy boxes marked soap powder. We're going to bring it in as ordinary cargo.
Oh, I see. And who's going to haul it?
Well, give it to Armstrong. Just make out a regular shipping order and have him bring it in on his number 7 truck over Highway 26 tomorrow morning. I'll take the orders over myself. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Hal.
They sure laid it on the line for us.
Yep, that's all we need to know. The boss will pay plenty for that uranium.
Someone was listening in to appreciate our little act.
Well, if they were, they'll certainly get a surprise when they stick up that truck tomorrow.
Get over to the side of the road and don't make any breaks.
This is a soap powder you've been looking for, boys. But I don't think you want it. It really is soap.
All right, turn around with your hands up. You can go now, Joe. Thanks. We're going to use your car. Get it off the road, Sam. All right, get going. See that you have a radio. Can you get in touch with your boss? Well, think it over. You two have got an awful lot of charges against you to be taking the whole rap alone.
What's the deal?
Well, tell him you have to see him right away. Then have him come out and meet us somewhere near here.
You think I could talk him into coming out in the sticks to see us?
Well, that's up to you. But if you expect to get any consideration for turning state's evidence, you better do it.
All right, I'll give it a try. Where do you want to meet him?
Now, that barn where you took Miss Roberts would be all right. Does he know where it is?
Yeah.
Then go to it.
Calling V317. Calling V317.
Come in, Regan.
We got the uranium, but it doesn't look like the real stuff. You'd better come out and look it over.
You want me to come out from here?
Yeah, you'd better. This is very important.
Very well. Where'll I meet you?
At the old barn just off the Oak Mountain Road.
I'll be there as soon as possible. Calling R46. Calling R46.
Barnett speaking. Come in.
Regan's in trouble. I don't know just what's wrong, but he asked me to meet him at the old barn on Oak Mountain Road. He knows I never allow myself to be seen, so he must have been forced to call me. Go out to the barn at once and see what's happening.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
I don't know. I can't see from here. I'm going out the back door. Watch him. Come out of there.
Okay, Copper, we're taking over. Now you're going to get a chance to meet our real boss. He'll be glad to get some information about your government shipping schedules. Get going.
What about my friend?
He can take care of himself when he comes to.
Duncan, you'll kill us all. Why not? I'm a dead duck anyway, so I might as well take you along with me.
Don't go crazy. Slow down. Let's talk this over.
What's the deal? Drop your guns up here in the front seat.
Now get out and start walking. I'll be right behind you.
Now!
doors are closed. That means the ore dump's loaded. We'll fix Duncan. Here, let's dump this car over and block the tunnel. That car will stop him just long enough for us to trip the ore dump. Come on, we can get out the other side.
Our trap to catch the crooks failed completely.
As all your other attempts have.
Well, I'll admit I haven't put any hijackers behind bars yet. But I think I finally have the evidence that'll break this case wide open.
Are you at liberty to tell us what this evidence consists of?
Well, only to the extent of saying that it will implicate one of you gentlemen in this room.
Well, what in the world do you mean?
I mean that I'm convinced that one of the four of you knows a great deal more about this hijacking gang than you've ever admitted. I'm saying this in the hopes that the person involved would care to make a statement before I turn the case over to the district attorney.
All I can say is you better have plenty of evidence to back up this outrageous charge.
I'm sure I have nothing to say.
You might as well go ahead with your plan, Duncan.
I intend to. The district attorney is coming over here tonight, and I'm turning everything over to him.
Hal, are you sure your evidence is good enough?
Well, that's good enough to prove that one of them's guilty, but I don't know which one. I was hoping someone would make a break when I came out with that accusation.
You mean you were bluffing about the district attorney?
No, I'm going to turn everything over to him. Maybe he can find some way to pin it on the guilty man. Let's go over our files and get everything together.
So, according to Duncan, he can turn over to the district attorney enough evidence to expose me.
Well, maybe he's bluffing.
He probably is, but I can't take that chance. The district attorney must not be allowed to take Duncan's evidence into court.
Hey, knocking off a district attorney's bad business.
Not if it appears to be an accident. We must learn where Duncan's papers will be taken tonight, so I will arrange to leave one of our men at his...
We have to use this office. Can you finish up later?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sit down.
Thanks.
These are all my reports on the case.
Oh, yes. I want to study these thoroughly. But first, I'd like to hear the story in your own words.
Sure. It started when I was appointed government agent to investigate the hijacking of trucks. My assistant, Sam Bradley, and I were checking on a warehouse when we came across our first clue.
Star came off of one of Armstrong's trucks.
You sure?
Positive. I looked at this cut in the casing, wondering how long it would last.
Stick him up. Frisk him.
Everything that was left in the underground storage place, but most of the stuff had already been shipped out. And of course, plenty more has been stolen since then. They always seem to know when the most valuable shipments are being made.
Could the information leak out from anywhere except this office?
Well, I don't see how. And it isn't only information about shipments that gets out. A few days later, I captured Regan, one of the hijackers. He doped himself and was pronounced dead. His friends picked up the supposed body and revived him. Now, nobody except members of this association knew where Regan was. Yet when I got there, his friends had already taken him away in a morgue car. I went after them and...
Throw the stretcher out in front of him.
Yes, I am inclined to agree with you. One of the association members is undoubtedly working with the gang, but proving which one is going to be something else.
Well, that's what's worrying me.
I still think we can do it. I'll look these reports over thoroughly and see what I can figure out.
Well, that's fine. Do you want to take the reports with you now?
No, I still have an appointment in my office. And I don't like to take confidential material like that there until I've had a chance to look it over myself. But I would appreciate it if you take the records to my home in Glenwood.
Sure. I'll drop you at your office on the way. You can go in now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
Here's the dope. Duncan is going to take the DA to his office. Then he's going to take the papers to his home in Glenwood.
Good. We'll have time to set a trap for Duncan when he goes over the pass.
This is it.
Okay.
Flash your lights.
Okay, he got it. Now let's catch up with that station wagon. Pass him now. That'll take care of those records, all right. Let's get out of here.
Of course, I can't prove that it wasn't an accident, but it looked to me like a deliberate attempt at murder. As it was, all of my records and notes were destroyed in the fire.
Is it possible to replace them?
Well, partially. I have duplicates of some of the records, and I can rewrite most of my reports from memory. I'm getting everything compiled again to turn over to the district attorney.
And you still think he'll find your evidence strong enough to indict one of us?
I'm sure he will. So if any of you would care to make a statement first, it'd make it easier for everyone.
I've had enough of this. We've tried to cooperate with you, and the only thing it's brought us is your ridiculous accusations. I don't see why we should continue to take orders from you.
Thompson, would you like to be the first one of us to refuse to cooperate with a government agent?
No. No, I don't suppose I could do that without putting myself under suspicion. But I don't intend to sit here and listen to any more insults.
You don't seem to be very popular.
No, and I couldn't get anybody mad enough to make a break, which was what I was trying to do.
Well, I'd be willing to bet you made one of them mad enough to try again to murder you.
Probably. Especially now that they know that I'm still going to turn over my report to the DA. Oh, will you get my folder out of the safe? I'll have to go through all my old notes and dig up the material for my new report. Well, it'll be quite a job. Say, here's something that ought to help me trap those crooks. When I made Regan call his boss, I got the wavelength of both of their radios.
Well, you could listen in on them. You might hear something that would help.
Yes, but that's not what I was thinking about. If I could maneuver Regan into the position where he has to call his boss again on the radio, I could triangulate the position of his boss's set.
Sounds good.
We'll have to set up 2 listening points with direction finders. You can handle one here, and I'll plant Sam with another one up in the hills. Then if I can get them to chase me to the right spot, I'll have things arranged so that I can...
So you'll have to try again to stop Duncan. And this time, be sure your plans work out.
Do you think he'll take the reports to the district attorney's house?
I don't know. So plant someone at the association office at all times.
Okay.
Calling R48. Calling R48.
Come in, Gray.
He's getting into his car right now. It's a green 4-door sedan with white sidewall tires headed east. He may turn left directly in front of you.
Okay, we'll pick him up.
That's him, all right. What are you going to do about it here?
Trail him for a while and see where he goes. Looks like he's headed out of town.
Good. That'll make it easier for us.
catch up with him now.
All right. He must have spotted us.
Yeah, but stay with it. We can catch him. I don't like this setup. Looks like he's trying to lead us into a trap. Let's get back to the car and call the boss.
How are we doing? All right so far. They followed me to the ledge and then went back to their car to call their boss. Is this all ready?
Yeah.
Calling Trucking Association, calling Trucking Association.
Come in, Hal.
We're all in position. If Regan and Katie are going to call their boss, it'll be in the next few minutes. So get on his frequency and have your direction loop ready.
Right.
Anyway, we got the reports.
Yeah, but this whole setup looks phony to me. Let's pull out of here. Calling V317. Calling V317.
Come in, Regan.
We chased Duncan out into the hills, but he left his car and ran away. Then we picked up his briefcase full of reports. But it sort of looks like a rigged-up deal to me.
Do the reports seem authentic?
Near as I can tell. But if they are, I can't figure out why he left them here for us.
Bring them into me at once, but be sure you're not followed. This may be some kind of a scheme to locate me.
Okay, we'll be careful.
What's the bearing?
172.
Now get Case.
Calling Truck Association. Calling Truck Association.
Come in, Sam.
Did you get his bearing?
Yes, Sam, it's 224.
224. There we are.
The northeast corner of 4th and Main.
That's all we need to know.
Yes, let's get going.
Now, how do we find out which office he's in?
Well, we know that Regan and Katie should be here, so we'll just have to start checking offices until we can find them. Let's start at the top and work down.
Good enough.
These reports seem genuine, but there's nothing in them of any importance. I expect this is some kind of a scheme to trap us.
So you'd better hide out at the underground warehouse for a few days until I can learn what's going on.
Okay.
Mister? Thanks, I'm okay. Find a policeman and have him come up to room 511 in this building.
Yes, sir.
Regan! Get out at once. The police will be here any minute. Go to the underground warehouse and finish that hidden vault job.
Take the intercom with you.
I can find.
Well, it doesn't look like much, but I'll take them back to the office and look them over. You better stand by until the detectives get here. They'll want to check for fingerprints.
Yes, sir.
The papers we found were just copies of shipping schedules, a few bills and receipts, mostly for car rentals and repairs. There was nothing that'll be of much help except to prove that the place was headquarters for the hijacking gang.
But you didn't find anything to prove that the mastermind you think is running the gang had ever even been there.
No, I didn't. In fact, the place looked more like a waiting room than a regular office. The only thing I can figure out is that Regan and Katie simply stayed in that room until they got their orders by phone or radio.
So you still have no clue to who or where the real leader is?
No.
Which means you've made no progress whatever. And we still don't dare haul any critical supplies for the government.
Well, it isn't quite that bad. The gang has been disorganized enough that it'll certainly take them some time to get into operation again. So I think we can go ahead with our shipment safely. Here are your shipping orders and schedules.
Aren't you being a little careless in handing out these orders when you think one of us is the master criminal?
As long as I'm the government agent in charge, I'll continue to handle this case in my own way, Mr. Armstrong.
Is this thing as hopeless as it seems?
Well, not quite. I didn't mention it at the meeting, but I found this among the other papers in that office.
Why, it seems to be a diagram for some kind of construction.
That's right. And from the outline, It's that cave under the warehouse where we found all that stolen equipment.
You mean they're using it again?
Well, there was no recess like that in the wall when we were there before. They must have just put it in.
That sounds reasonable.
Well, anyway, it's worth checking, so Sam and I are going down there.
Well, if they're using that place, it's sure to be guarded.
So we'll sneak in the back way through that tunnel from the waterfront.
Be careful, Hal.
We will.
That looks okay. Nobody will ever suspect there's a vault back of that wall. Now, let's get this landmine hooked up again.
You sure this mine isn't too strong? Could blow up the whole place.
No, but it'll sure take care of anybody that comes prowling around the vault. Hook it back up to the pillar again. Keep it about 2 inches off the ground.
We're almost there, so take it easy.
That looks okay.
Calling R37. Calling R37.
Come in.
Is the concealed vault ready?
Yes, it's all set.
Good. The police have finally left here. I've called Daly to come over and help me pack the papers. They'll be ready by the time you and Katie get here, and you can take them back to the vault.
Good. We'll leave right away. Come on. Hold it.
Okay?
Yeah, I guess so.
Then cuff this one up and call the police. Regan's finished. From what we heard on the radio, the big boss is up in that office, and I'm going after him.
Okay.
Daly,
Yes, sir.
I'll pass the papers through to you.
Okay.
That's all the important ones. I'm going to burn the rest of them.
Okay, sir.
All right, drop that bag and get your hands up.
Sure is good to be back in business again. And no hijackers to worry about. Well, this baby handles like a limousine.
Hey, that's enough of that. Pull up and let me drive.
Oh, no, Hal. You're still a government agent. You shouldn't be driving a truck.
Well, government agent or no government agent, I'm not taking any chances of cracking up this truck. Well, okay. You can keep it for a while yet.
Gee, thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot.